Okay, good. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm getting text messages. Okay, good. So we're back on. Okay, so I don't know where we left off because I was completely going in, but let's go back to the list, right? So we're in campaigns. We have no campaigns yet, right? We clicked on the list. Once you click on your list, this is how it's going to look. We're going to click on the actual name of the list, and then we're going to click on sign up forms. Okay. So hopefully that's where everything should be about now. Okay, so let me check just to make sure you guys are good. Okay, you guys are good? Okay, we're good then. Okay, so like I said before, we're at the general forms. Once we're at the general forms, we're gonna hit select, okay? Once we hit select, we should be in this area, okay? So while we're in this area, okay, again, like I said before, we don't want this. We don't want this at all. Whenever you're setting up an email list, I brand everything. And so I like to make sure everything looks good. And so like I said before, when we click on right in this area, forms and response emails, these are your emails that are going to be your lifesavers for so many different reasons. And I'm going to show you why. For those of you who want to give away freebies, who want to design some kind of cool setup, this is how we're going to do it, okay? So your sign-up form, again, is your first form. It's your first thing they're going to see. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to Canva, and I'm going to show you how to quickly create a header. So I'm going to click on, again, this is a free, Canva's free, but once you set up your account and you have everything done, you want to click on the green button that says Create Design. Again, you'll go to canva.com to make your account. When you make your account, and you click on Create Design, you're going to see all these designs pop up. Usually they pop up, you know, once you've made your account. But the Facebook cover is going to be your best friend, y'all. Yes, Facebook covers. Yes, I said it before. Facebook covers. The reason why Facebook covers is the greatest thing for me in my email list is that I can use it as a doubly, basically. So I can use it for Facebook pages as a Facebook drawing for people to sign up as that cover photo. And then I can actually use it to go right here, because if you notice here, if you hover your mouse over this, you'll see this thing pop up that says edit, remove, or use image. So we're going to put that custom header right in there. And then I'm going to show you how to add some custom things, how to, you know, design your background. So while we're in here, we're going to click on Facebook cover. And while we're in the Facebook cover, okay, they give you some layouts actually that you can use that are free. Some of them you'll notice are not free, but the layouts actually, this is the cool thing about Canva, is that if it says it's not free, it's because something's being used in it that is a stock photo or an icon. So most of the time you actually can use the layout. You may just have to replace some of the components in Canva. So a lot of people who, you know, churches, small businesses, you know, they want to use it and they're thinking, I want to use this, but it says not free. I'm not going to use it. Nope, not necessarily. Like for instance, this one is paid, right? But the reason why it's paid is that this image behind it right here is a stock photo, but you can simply replace this and then put something new in here. Now you may say, Genesis, where am I going to get my stock photos from? I love Unsplash. I really do love Unsplash. I love Unsplash because I can find all sorts of things for my list. And so I'm going to find, let's say this is a business for, guys, let's make something up, for baking. I don't know why I would say that, but let's just say it. And so I am a food blogger. We're just making something up random, guys. But I'm a food blogger, and maybe I love to bake cakes, or maybe you have a photo of your cakes that you want to use. But I'm going to just find something really cool. Maybe I'm like a foodie. You know, let's do that. Let's say this is perfect. Let's say I'm a foodie. Images. You do not just pick random images. You need to think about your design. And I'm gonna show you why, and we'll get into it. So like when I'm looking at images, I'm looking for space. And what I mean by that is space in the sense of for text placement, for design. I was really drawn to this photo right here. because number one, it's like a sponge, just like a piece of cake is right in the middle, and there's a lot of yellow space on these two sides. And so I could put text on this side, and I can see myself putting text on this side. I can even see myself putting my logo right here on this white plate. I'm thinking about spacing. And so when you pick images, you need to start thinking about spacing in design. And so I was looking at this, and you know what I said to myself? Oh, this is perfect. Unsplash is where you can pick free photos, and they're free of charge. If you're a church, think about Lightstock. Lightstock is paid stock, but it's great stock. And they show very diverse communities. Of course, you can just, find some images of your own church and use that. So I'm going to hit download, and it's going to show me the big photo. I'm going to just click and drag this to my desktop. I'm going to go back to my window here, and I'm going to open up my desktop, and I'm going to drag the image that we just got. And when you drag it, you'll drag it here. Oh, there's Serena, guys. I had made her some stuff in here. So we're going to drag this photo here. Oh, okay, so now we're getting better. Looks like some things are happening. Okay, good. We're back in business. So with the photo, hold on, guys. I have way too many tabs open. Okay, there you go. Cool. So now that we have this image in here, now here's what you think about. A lot of these layouts, there may be a filter on it, so that's why it looks darker. I'm going to actually just make one from scratch. Or, I mean, look at this layout. This layout is really cool. I think this is cool. I like this layout too. I love Canva layouts because I'm going to tell you why. Go in there, drop your stuff in, bam, it's done. Now, of course, if we really want to talk about branding, then you need to make sure that you're using similar fonts as well. Okay, so when you do some of these brand things, you need to think about your fonts. Again, though, I think when you just start out, I really don't think it's that intense. But if you do want to do it that way, then when you click on your fonts, you need to make sure that you're using similar fonts. For me, if you're a person that uses Canva heavily, you can actually base your brand around what Canva fonts are offering. And then that way, even when you make stuff, you can make sure that everything is the same. Okay? So for this, for instance, I'm going to go down here. And guys, I'm really sorry for the freezing, just in case there's any freezing. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a certain thing. Let's just pick. I think, oh, look at all these. These are so cool, guys, aren't they? But we're not going to get distracted. I'm just going to remove all this stuff because I'm going to make mine from scratch. I'm going to drag this image in here. I'm going to drag it across the whole thing. So that takes up the whole space. Okay, and again, we're going to be using this like, if I was like a foodie or something, right? Just kind of showing you guys the possibilities. I'm going to go to my text area, and I'm going to just click on this heading. And let's say we call this Bites. That's actually a really great branded name, guys. I don't know if anyone's looking to have a blog, but Bites is like an awesome name. Okay, so let's say, I always come up with ideas. Actually, let's put this to the side. Let's do it like this. Let's make it fun. Okay, we're gonna go like this, and I'm gonna shift this photo so that it takes up the whole side. And I'm gonna put Bites, and I'm actually gonna put it has a period. Did it? Yes, like that. Bites. Okay, and let's say this is the header. I'm loving this name. Guys, I'm telling you, I come up with stuff. I'm just like, oh, that's like perfect. But let's say we call it Bites. Or let's say we put this on the plate. Remember we said we have that white space. Let's say we made this smaller and we put it right here. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. And we're going to shift this over just a little bit. Okay. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could have it look like that. You could also, if we want to make the plate bigger, we could actually put the subtitle for the newsletter. So like, let's say we did it to where we shifted this over and then we put this here and then we got a smaller subtitle and we put this like the newsletter, right? And we put this right underneath. So even if you do call it a newsletter or, you know, you could put like this, but I feel like this is kind of cool. Now, if we use the font April Fat Face, and it has, again, it's a serif font. Let's use a font that's more modern to match with it, okay? Kind of playing with the fonts a little bit. And this is really smart. When you pair up fonts, you don't pair up similar fonts. You contrast them. So classic with modern, for instance. So we'll do the sans serif light, okay? And I may do it like here. You know, you could get all fancy with the design, do it here, but I think I really like it centered. And to make it cooler, being that the top font is in lowercase, we want to do the bottom in uppercase. And to make it even more modern, we're going to space it out because we know how in the modern world people love to space stuff out. Okay, there we go. Bites the newsletter. Okay, I love that. And you can see the fork in the back. Okay, well, if anyone wants to make a blog called Bites, just let them know. I have a free header right here. So when we get done, I'm going to name this Bites header, and I'm going to hit done, and then we're going to hit download. When I hit download, I want to download it as a PNG. We can do a JPEG, but I like PNGs. I'm going to hit download. It's going to save to my computer, and then we're going to put this bad boy, I was going to say baby, we're going to put this bad boy right into the newsletter, okay? Okay, so it's going to save. I'm going to hit save in a second. It's popping up. My computer is filled with design files. Okay, hit save. And then we're going to go back to MailChimp, which is over here. And I'm going to hit use image. Right now we have no images in here. When you are doing folders, there's a lot of things you can do within MailChimp. One of the things I've learned has actually helped me a lot is that if you have multiple lists and you have all different graphics, you want to begin to make folders. Now, we don't have any images in here, so there's really no need for folders yet. But let's say I dragged in the image of the cake, and then I'm also dragging in the image of the Bites header. We're going to wait for these to upload. And when you upload at least one image, you're going to see some things pop up. You're going to see newest first. You'll be able to sort your images. You'll be able to sort files, PDFs. You can sort them by icons. You can sort them in a list. But what's really helpful in MailChimp is the folders. And again, you know, most times when we're thinking about MailChimp, we don't think about it. You know, we just kind of think about email, got to send an email out to people. But you want to think about this being like, you know, your home center for talking to your audience. And so when it comes to me, I have a lot of files in different folders. I'm going to show you Girls with Royalties automation system, but we have so many different images, logos, we have devotional headers, you know, there's different ones. And so we can't just have a whole list of just random images. We need to sort those things into files. And so in the folders. So I'm going to hit add a folder, and I'm going to say Bites branding, right? And so in this folder, and you can drag them. So in the all folder, like I can click these and then I can say move to Bites branding, okay? And so now it's in the folder. Now it'll be in the all, but then you have the unfiled, which is where it's not in any folder, but then we have the Bites branding. And so when I begin to upload stuff, before I even upload it, select the folder you want to upload in, then open up your Finder or your desktop and drag it into the right folder. So that for my Bites branding, this is when you'll put your logo in here. You'll put, you know, you'll put your logo. You may put your icons, the things that, you know, are like the consistent branding things for your site, the imagery. And then like, let's say you had another folder. Let's say we had another folder that was for like stock images. So like, let's say, you know, when you did your newsletters, you use pictures of women or whatever. So like, for instance, Unsplash, for instance, let's say I had a folder filled with like baking goods. So like, let's say I did a blog post on, you know, your child's birthday, like, you know, maybe it's on your toddler's first birthday cake. And I wanted to use this image, but I don't want this to be in everywhere. I want it to be in my stock imagery. So when I went to my images, I would drag it into stock, right? So I would hit my folder. This isn't all, but I would go and click on stock, or I would click on branding. And that's the folder I would put it in. Hopefully this makes sense. You can also import from a URL or from Jiffy. If you are a fun type of brand and you like to use those moving images, like for instance, you'll notice here, let's say I put in here funny. We're just going to use the word funny. You'll see that these little GIFs will pop up, like the funny little GIFs. These are really great for brands that, want to add a little bit of punch to their email list. I've done it before. And this is really funny. I think this is really funny, especially when you see it, when you get it in your email list. So let's say, you're having a sale or something's, really funny. You may say, happy. Let's say we did happy. Let's say, you're having a brand new sale. You may use this GIF right here, because you have a new sale and, people about to save some money, so you may do that. You may use, it could be anything, but these are really, really fun to use. Again, but it depends on your brand. Like I wouldn't use this for, a regular church newsletter. I may use it for the young adults. I may use it for the teen ministry or something like that. Okay, but that's really great. Again, you can import from URL as well. You can import from Flickr. But like I said before, we've imported our headers. Let's select the header here. I'm going to hit select. And I'm just going to hit, I don't need to change anything. It's going to actually keep the proportions. I'm going to hit save and insert image. It's going to replace the image. And look at that. To me, that's great. We're starting off great. We have a branded header. This is great. Awesome, guys. We got it. So now we want to change the message. This is what they'll see of why am I signing up? Whenever you have people who are signing up for your list, please do not, just say like sign up below. That's not going to work. One of the things I learned, and you'll see this on my website on the homepage, is that I really wanted to focus on why people should sign up for the emails, for the email list. And I put that right here. I tell them what they're going to get. I also tell them that they're going to get 2 free encouraging downloads. And if you're a part of my email list, you know that I'm upgrading those emails. And so that's really important. You have to tell people what they're getting. At girlsrealty.com, we tell them what they're getting when they sign up. Matter of fact, I'm going to go there now. So that you guys can kind of see from a ministry standpoint. Again, this is from a more online-based ministry. But if you're a church, though, you can tell them as well what they're getting. I know in my church, we call ours RFC Insider. So our church is Revival Fellowship Church, so we called it RFC Insider. So it kind of made it special. You're an insider. You get inside news. But for Girls of Royalty, on our email sign-up page, we tell them, that we're excited for them to join. We tell them like what they're going to get each month, and then we have the information down below. Now, what you want to gather from your people is important. So some of you are using this as a database, for people who interact with you. Some of you are using it as a membership sign up. Some of you are using it maybe as a birthday list, so you have to be careful, like, not careful, but think about what is my purpose with this list. Each list can be different. You may have, a text alert list. You may have, your branding list. You may have a class. So like, if I'm doing a class, then what I would ask for will be different than a regular email list, right? Like you may need some further information. Right now we have the email list. We have the first name and the last name. So in my first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the message, and it comes up like this. It's, you can put in anything. We're gonna center it. I'm gonna hit the center button, and I'm gonna say, we're making this up, guys, again as we go. We're gonna say, let's say, why would I want to be a food blogger? Oh, well, you know what? Hey, want to learn how, or you could say, see, questions are great. Are you struggling? Are you struggling with making recipes a everyday thing that's not so bad copy? But you get my point, right? You're gonna put something in there, something there that draws their attention. It may be receive free recipes that you can make from home in just 5 minutes. That is great. That's why I would join the newsletter. Yes. Okay. Free recipes that I can make at home in just 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. Okay. Awesome. Plus on top of that, get insider news get insider news or insider whatever, from Bites. in our new bites on deal, and sales or, discounts or whatever, right? Okay. Again, I don't know what this brand is. We're making this up. So, okay, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit save and close, right? Receive free recipes that you can make from home in just 5 minutes. Plus, get insider news from bites and discounts. Actually, that's grammatically out. So, plus, get insider news and discounts from bites. There you go. Since that's what we're calling it. Okay. Cool. So that's what they're going to get. Let me know why I should sign up. You know what I mean? There we go. It's kind of, who don't you want to make recipes in 5 minutes? I know I do. I can barely hit 30. So you have the email address. It is required because this is an email marketing system. You have first name. Do you want the first name? Do you even want a name? You think about it. Would you ever need their name? You may say yes. If you do giveaways or you do different things, you may want their email list. Do you want their last name? You don't have to, but this is something to think about. You can also add a list. So if I want to, I can click on add a field and I can add extra ones. Do I want their, do I want a website? Do I want them to put a phone number, a zip code, birthday, an address, a drop down, check boxes? It's always up to you. Now, here's another thing too. So for some of you, you guys are doing what we would call sub lists. And so your list may have what we would call to be groups, right? And I'm going to get into that in a second. But you actually can have them select a group to sign up for, okay? Now, the great thing about MailChimp is that as you edit, it auto saves. But speaking of this, though, as you go to your manage subscribers, let's go really quickly to groups real quick. So I'm going to show you this because this is important for setups. When you do a list, you may have people who, for instance, may want to get even extra information. So you may say, yeah, I'm signing up for this brand, but I specifically want information too on maybe the 5-minute recipes. So maybe, you only send your 5-minute recipes to a certain group in that list. So yeah, I want the 5-minute recipes, but I also want those daily inspirationals you get too. But maybe you may not send that out. But if you do have that kind of segmented thing, you can create what we call groups. And with the groups, for instance, you may say, also sign me up for, right? And then, okay, what do I want to also learn about? I want to learn about those, your upcoming workshops. So maybe these are the people who get your workshop information. Maybe I want to learn about, it could be anything, discounts, on baked goods or bakeware. I know nothing about baking, so that's probably the worst thing to pick. And then what else do I want to learn? Maybe, I also want to get training for, this is so made up, for cooking. That doesn't even make sense, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so you may do it like that. You can do it as check boxes where they can click more than one, radio buttons where they only can click one, or a drop down. You can kind of make it fancy. Or, don't even show these groups on my sign up form. Okay, I don't know why you would even do that if you did that, but let's say we did that. So I want to do a checkbox. You may also say where you may want to ask people what they're like. Maybe it may be like a particular thing they may be interested in, and you only want them to select one thing. Like maybe it's a certain thing that where they can't get everything. They can only get a certain portion. So we're gonna hit save, and these groups are done. Okay, that group is done. When I go to my sign up form, you're going to notice one thing when we go back to the general form is that there will be a category automatically added. So for bites, I'm going to get my 5-minute recipes, but I can sign up for the upcoming workshops. I can sign up for the discounts on bakeware, or I can sign up for training. I can just click all three if I want all three. Okay, and I'm going to show you why that's important. Okay, now again, you can even add another option while you're even in this section. Now, hit delete. MailChimp wants to make sure, do you really want to delete this? I'm going to hit save when I'm done. Okay, and this is not for everybody. I don't do this for Girls Royalty, but I do it for our Branded Teens ministry, where we want to know from our subscribers whether you are an adult, whether you are a teen, or whether you're a parent. So like, whether you're a church, a ministry organization, whether you're a parent or whether you're a teen. And we don't want, teens to feel like the special information they're getting, their parents are also getting, or their parents are getting what the teens are getting. You let us know who you are so that we can give you specifically, what's for you. So that would be perfect. This is like another reason why groups are really great. Okay. Now, when I'm done all this, there are some more things you can design. Okay. When you're done adding all your different fields, we can also hit the design it button and change these other things like background colors. And so I'm going to change this background color to maybe like a darker, deeper, maybe, you know, for me, I love blacks and grays and all that, you know. Okay, so there's that. That's how that looks. I can change the body. I can change the header. I can change the height of it. Of course, with the header, we've put a custom image, you know, but you can change the margin. Like, you know, this space right here. I can make this, let's say I do 10. You'll notice that now it's thinner. I can do 0. So now actually it connects right on top. You notice there's like a little bit of space here. But even like for your body, for your forms, there's a lot of things you can change on, like, you know, how that basically looks on your page. You can, like, the line height, you can, you know, let's say you want stuff to be double spaced out, you know, background, the outer wrapper. You don't have anything for that, but if you wanted to, you could put that in there. For your body, of course, we're looking at the red. It actually shows you what you're looking at, which is the red here. You can change the background of that. I can make this anything. Let me get this. Oh, this ugly color. Oh, that was horrible. Bad choice. Bad choice. But I can make it any color regardless, you know, and then you can change to the color of these boxes as well. So your default text, you may say, okay, I want all that to be white. Okay, I want that all to be white, and you'll see how that changes it to white. And then these boxes here, you can change. You know, we can change all that. The forms you can change, you know, the text I can change, all that stuff. So if you know, if you really want to go through, you know, I mean, you really want to, you know, customize it, you can. When you have a free account, please know that MailChimp is always at the bottom like this. Because again, you're using them for free, so they do want a little bit of promo. I don't mind it because of how awesome MailChimp is, and you can get up to 2,000 subscribers for free. So, you know, I don't mind that. So you can actually even pick what image goes at the bottom. I particularly like this one right here because it's small, but also too, you'll notice that it is about to change. It has to change for a second. Hold on. Is that, hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not good. We don't want that. I'm using the right one. There you go. This is it. It blends into the background. This is the one. I like this one because it blends into the background. And so I don't like seeing the extra box. I love this. It can blend into the background. It looks just like it's seamless, right? So this is how it looks. This background, y'all, is ugly. This color right here, we don't like that. So I'm going to change it back to white for the sake of the designer in me, or at least a gray or something. And I actually like this. I actually love the spacing. I don't even like it being that close because if you notice here, it kind of has like a curved edge. And so I'm going to even go back to the page and I'm going to do the margin at 10. I actually like the 10. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to change this color as well. We did not like that pink, so we're going to go to a black. So again, though, you guys can see how you can pretty much make an email list of your dreams. We can add the little groupings and make it customizable. Once that is done, okay, again, this is just the sign up form. Now you'll go through some of these things. Let's go through some of these things. Sign up form with alerts is that this is what it'll look like if, let's say, someone makes a mistake. It's basically taking you through everything. It's taking you through how everything will look as we go through a sign up. It's going to show me, okay, what does the thank you page look like? Once a person has subscribed, it's going to say, okay, we need we're going to need your email address. This is only shown if they sign up via the link. A lot of times when you use those integrations via your website, it actually won't show them this. It'll actually just send them the confirmation email. But if you wanted to, you could customize this as well. You know, you can have it be really fun, say something really awesome. What I actually love is the confirmation emails. You know, like we may say something like, you know, please confirm your sign up, or, you know, hey guys, you're almost done, you know, something like that. And then too, you can even customize what the subject is. What I really want to show you guys, though, is the confirmation thank you page. This is really important. This page and the final welcome page is probably the most important pages for me when it comes to my signups. These two pages for me have helped my life immeasurably. This is what has helped a lot of teams that I've worked with. when someone has basically confirmed their email, you can do two things. You can have your subscribers go to a page on your website that is set up just for them. So let's say you make a special page that isn't on the menu on your site, and it basically, has some custom text. It may say, awesome, so glad you joined so glad you joined the email list. In a few minutes, you're going to receive a special link or gift, as a thank you. In the meantime, surf our site or something like that. You could, however, though, put the freebie in here if you wanted to. The reason why I don't put the freebie in the confirmation email is because this is actually not an email. It's like a page that they go to. Okay. The email, though, the final welcome email, is actually sent to their inbox, and that is actually what I want them to see. This comes up as like a window on a website, but the email is important. So what I've done is I've put in here, you're all, like, let's say you're all signed up, and then let's say I put down below in here, I'm going to take all this out, and I'm going to say, I'm so glad that you've joined my email list. You can write something. You can write something really personal too. What I've also loved is that I'll put something in here that's very special and warm-hearted. Maybe the reason why I started what I've started. And why I feel like them being a part of what I'm doing is such a special thing. And what I'm looking to do and all these kind of things, right? So that's what I've done in my email list. That's what I've done for churches. We may say, maybe put a little blurb about your church, and what this email list will do for them. You're going to receive encouragement. You'll receive our weekly blog articles. You'll get announcements from when we have upcoming events and Bible studies, something like that. You'll put that in here. You can also add photos, right? So if I wanted to, I could add a photo on top, maybe of the church, or of my brand, maybe of me, so you can get really, really cool with this. Okay. So if I wanted to, I need to find an image that we can use. If I wanted to, I could put an image in here that was, like a special image. So like I'm dragging a random picture I have on my desktop for a project in here just to kind of show you guys. And it's a picture of these girls. Okay. I'm gonna hit save and insert image. And I'm going to make the image a little bit smaller. I'm going to do it as like 400. And on my image style, I do want this to be centered. I'm going to hit save and insert image. And then we're going to hit save and close. And see that? Like you do something like that. And put in there something really, really special. You can even have the text wrap around it. If you want the text to wrap, double click on the image. And then where's it at? For the alignment, I would do it to the left, and then I would want the margin on the right to be like 10, right? And so that would mean that there will be some spacing in between the text and the image. Just see how that looks? You do like that, and when I hit save and close, you can have it, see text wrap around it, okay? And so this, again, though, this is just the confirmation. Thank you. Remember, we want to send a final welcome email, but this is what they would get when they sign up. They'll click. It's going to open up a window on their phone or on their computer. It's going to look like this. And then, of course, here's what I really want to tell them. Check your email in the next couple of minutes. That's what check your email in the next couple of minutes to receive something special just for you. Okay. And now you may tell them about what that actually is. Like, let's say they receive, a free checklist or, a free ebook or something like that. And the ebook you can create right in Canva. And so with that, once that's done, I want to click on final welcome. I want this to be checked. I want this to be checked. I want this to be checked so bad. Okay. And what I want this to be too is the subject. I want to check this. I do not want to say subscription confirm. I'm actually going to delete all this. And I'm going to say, your special gift from Bites. We actually changed the whole thing. This whole thing should be called Bites, right? Can we change this? Okay, it's called Bites. That's what it's actually going to say. It's going to look like this. You can actually delete all this and to take it out. These are what we call merge tags. And based upon you creating the list, this was the from name and this was the reply to email. But you can change these actually if you desire. But this is what I'm going to change. You can't change down here, but you can change up top. Okay, and the booking at genesisdorsey.com, this is the email that was set when you made the list. You can change this by going to your settings as far as what that email is. Now, this is what I want to change. This is what I love. In here, this is where I put my freebies. This is what I put. Because if you have a free account and you're not yet paying for automation, you don't have you don't have the luxury of an email being automatically sent, once they sign up, but here's the thing, you kind of do. You can use automation by using the free, the final welcome email. So like what we used to do with Girls Royalty until we upgraded to automation was we would put our monthly content sign up in here. So like, let's say, you're putting out a free ebook that they get once they sign up. You put that in here. So I'm going to center this and I may say, here's your free gift for becoming a part of the Bites email community. We're so grateful. Something really inspirational, right? Okay, great. Then I'm going to put right here, I'm going to put click here to download now. Bold this. I always bold and underline when it's a free because I want them to know. And you can even change the color. I can change the color. I'll make this blue. Oh, no, not the background. Oh, wrong thing. Make it blue, I can make it do whatever. Now you may say, okay, Genesis, how do I make a freebie? Like, I don't really know. So I'm going to be actually doing a class on how to make a freebie, but in the meantime, you can make one on Canva. You can go down to, they have, you can do a US letter, a magazine. They even have ebooks though, right? So you can click on an ebook. And of course, like if you're doing like worksheets, stuff like that, I would probably recommend, using their letterhead and stuff like that to design whatever you want to design. But they do have ebooks like that are like pre-made and you can just like basically go from there. So like I could make an ebook cover, add a page, scroll down, do something like this, a little inspiration, whatever. Okay, so that may be my ebook. Let's say we call this Bites. This is the Bites freebie. So can make on your computer on Word doc on the Microsoft Word pages for Mac. You can make it whenever or however you desire. I'm gonna hit download, okay, and I'm gonna download this as a PDF, okay, please, as a PDF. Hit download. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot. This is a paid template, which means you see this. It was using an image, so we're gonna replace it with the images that I have. There we go. Download again. Once this is done, upload it. Now I'm going to teach you how to upload. It's downloading real quick. I'll teach you how to upload this into your Canva, into your MailChimp and go from there. So it's downloaded. Okay, I'm going to go back to my MailChimp, highlight the text, hit the link button right here, change this to web address. No, I do not want a web address. I want a file. Now I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to find the file. Oop, it has already opened for me in preview for Mac. Find the file, and I'm going to drag the file in, the PDF. It needs to be in PDF format. Cannot repeat that enough. Unless it's like, no, I actually think files should be PDF format. Because then, people on their phones, they can save it to their iBooks, things like that. We want that. So let me click on select. Even if I X this out, I can click on select here. That's the link, okay? We want this to open in a new window. We do not want to take them away from the email. Hit insert. Oops, I did that wrong. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to click on file, and then I'm going to click on select. And I'm going to insert. Oh, you know what? I forgot how I do this. Select this, hit file. I forgot there's a reason why I do this. Okay. I copy this link, hit cancel, then go back to here, hit link, hit web address, and then paste it in there. I was like, what? Okay, there we go. And then I hit insert. So now it's linked. And when you click on it, you can tell it's linked because you double click it. Okay, so now that's linked. So again, how do I do that? I highlighted, actually you could just hit file manager, but I highlighted this. I hit file, I found my file, and then before I even hit insert, I double clicked the URL, and then I just copied it. I hit cancel. Then I went back to it, I linked it, and let's say we want to remove the link so I can show you how I actually did it. Linked it, kept it on web address, and then pasted the file link that we just copied. Okay, the reason why is that they're actually going to paste the actual whole link. Like it was trying to do this. We don't want that. That looks bad. We want to hide it behind text. So that's it right there. You can add, custom imagery if you want to. Like for instance, let's say I wanted to do my Jesus and People freebie, which is going out for my email list. Okay, I'm so excited. But let's say I want to do that. I can drag that in there as well. Oops. And put that on top. So like if you have like a mock-up of the image, for instance, I'm going to make this 1,000 by 700. I'm going to hit save and insert image, right? I want that there. Let's say I do that. Okay, it's way too big. So we're going to double click on this and we're going to go to, let's do 800. Really needs to be our 800. There we go. I'm going to hit save and close. Let's make it smaller. Let's do 500. The reason why you don't want to be too big is because it needs to fit in that area for the purpose of your mobile users. There you go, perfect. We want it to fit. So there it goes. Like, you could put an image at the top, and then you could put your little link down here. When they click on this link, it will take them to the thing. Now, if I can test it right now. I'll go to the link, and this is what they'll see. It's actually what it will look like for them. Hey, there's our thing that we made. Oh, with the cake. Cool beans. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so that's how you would make that. And so the reason why I really believe that this is such a saving grace is because it really helps expedite things. So like, let's say, every month you change your freebie, or every month, you change your opt-in, or you just want to offer something because you do need to offer something. Churches, yes, offer something. I can actually show you, I'm going to show you what our church did. We created scriptures. We actually created 15 scriptures of hope. And in the 15 scriptures of hope, when they sign up, they get this download, and it just shows them 15 scriptures all based around hope that they get for signing up. You may think that that's not much, but for a lot of people, 15 scriptures that they can have on their phones actually is a lot. You never know who's going to need what, but you do want to give them something that matches your brand. So like, if I'm a fashion expert, I would want to give them maybe a stylist ebook on things for them to keep in mind, maybe for the fall, for them to sign up. Oh yeah, it's fall time. I want to get this, something like that. So when it comes to your, challenges or webinars set up, this is exactly how you would do it. So for my MailChimp webinar, I did it to where you would sign up and then it sent you like an email, right? But let's say it was something where, you wanted to give them a challenge that they received at the beginning. So let's say it was like a 30-day challenge, and by them adding their email at the end, they would get an email, because I clicked on final welcome email, and I may name it like, step 1 of your challenge or whatever. I would put, maybe it's the checklist, or maybe it's the actual challenge itself for them to get right here on the list. Right? So this is a great way for those of you who want to do challenges or get a ton of people to join your email list, is to create a challenge. Create an email list just for your challenge, and then go from there. So this is done. I'm going to show you just how you would do that. So let's say I went back to list. Okay, I would create a list just for the challenge. I would create a list that says, 30-day money challenge, or like 30-day cooking challenge, because let's say I was from Bites. Okay, I would create a 30-day cooking challenge, and let's say this was it. Let's change this to actually be, in the settings, I'm going to click to list name and defaults. Let's say I made this the Bites 30-day cooking challenge. Of course, I would need to change the reason why people are signing up and all that, right? But I'm going to hit save at the bottom. Now, here's the other thing you need to think about. When people make these lists, they also forget about publicity settings. Okay, when people get your email, can they, of course, we know people can share whatever they want to, but a lot of times the archive bar is there, which I have never liked. Your archive bar is where people can access, something from previous times that maybe they shouldn't have gotten access to. So a perfect example is like this will show your past email campaigns that went out, and it'll be like a bar at the top. Okay. And when they click on that bar at the top, they'll be able to, again, to access a lot of previous things. Number one, I make all of my campaigns on public. I don't want anyone to, because it's a list that, you're signing up. I want your email list so that I can further, talk to you. The other thing is that I want to take off the archive bar. A lot of people say, oh, well, I want my email list to be shareable. I don't want my email list to be shareable, because then it doesn't become public. It doesn't become public information. I want it to be where you're signing up, because you can't get this anywhere else. If you wanted the information, you would have to get on the email list. So a lot of times, of course, there are some things that don't count. Like, for instance, sales, for retailers, they want everyone to know about, their sales. But that's because the premise of their email lists are different. For their email list, this is just another form of communication. This is not a, VIP list, even though there are, people or brands that do have that. You have to think about that. So I took these things off. It's on a no, and then it's on off for publicity settings. Why? Because I really do not want anyone on this list that, should not have, that did not sign up. Okay. The other thing too, is that you can, of course, connect your Google Analytics. You can look at your list fields. You have your sign-up forms. We talked about the sign-up forms, and then we talked about the added, of course, your subscribers. Now, let's say someone gives you their email address and say, hey, Genesis, I want to be added to your email list. I would go to add a subscriber if there was just one, and I would be able to put in their email address, first name, last name, if that was required, and then if they wanted this as well. Remember here, did this person give me permission to email them? You better click the yes. When you add people that are random, I saw this happen before. Someone added a whole bunch of people in their email inbox to their email list, and it turned out to be horrible, because those people did not ask for that. When your account gets marked as spam, when people unsubscribe, MailChimp will ask them, why are you unsubscribing? And they can say, I didn't sign up for this, or, this is spam. If you get a certain number of those emails, they will shut down your account. So for people who are saying, hey, or they're talking to their friends, hey, can I get your email list? Or, hey, I just need to buy some emails. Be careful with that. Definitely be careful, because people can mark you as spam, and then that will mess up your online reputation, and MailChimp will say, oh no, you're not making a list up in here. Okay. And so I've seen churches do that. I've seen a lot of, churches, brands, everyone. Be careful when you're just adding people. Okay. So now that we know how to brand our emails, how to do a quick setup, you may say, how can a church benefit from this? Why? Well, the main reason, which we've touched on, is why can a church or any business capitalize on the email marketing list, is because this is another way for your members to be engaged with your church. People, even potential people who are thinking about visiting, these are maybe your members or even visitors. You can remind them of upcoming Bible studies, upcoming church services, things that are happening, events, venues, all sorts of things. It definitely has its benefits. Another benefit are sermon recaps. Let's say you just recently did a message on Sunday, and there may be people who were not there. And so you can send them a little recap, or maybe a link to watch the video online, or to watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, or to purchase the sermon. So, you want to think about all these things as reasons for, why you should have an email list. It's very, very important. Of course, too, the other thing that we want to think about when making an email list is, how do I plan out my monthly emails? Genesis, I think I don't think I can make it. It's just too much. Based upon your brand, you do need to figure out how many emails you should send per month. I believe you should send at least 1 to 2 emails a week. 1 to 2. At least 1 to 2. Say it again, at least 1 to 2 emails a week. Why? You need people to not forget about you. When you don't send emails for a long period of time, it can become a little bit distant. You want to send emails. Some people say, oh, well, I'm on social media. Well, what if your social media account goes down? What if you can't log in? What if something happens? The one thing that people will have is their email address at the end of the day. When you reset your Instagram or Facebook account, guess where that email is getting sent to? Your email inbox. People are checking their emails. Now, they may not check their emails every day or all the time, but people are checking their emails. When I sent out my list for Jesus and People Nation to sign up, people were on my email list who were interested. Now, not everyone was, because I've got a lot of people on email lists who already know about MailChimp. They're already knowing about MailChimp. They don't need the class, but there were some people who did. So I wasn't going to just promote online. Matter of fact, I barely promoted online about the class, but I did promote a lot through my email list. So that's very important. When I create a campaign, and now we're going to go into actually creating your content, let's go into templates. And, we're pretty much going to almost be done. But let's look at your templates. So it's going to ask you what kind of campaign do you want to send, regular, plain text, A and B testing, or RSS. I'm going to tell you right now, for a couple of reasons, is that regular campaign has been my favorite, or A and B testing. And A and B testing is really where you're really trying to figure out which a form or design of your templates work best for your audience. You really don't want to start doing this until you get a certain number of subscribers, because this is testing. It's like basically trying to figure out, okay, if I send an email that looks this way versus an email that looks the other way, which one are people most likely to open? And it actually will show you based upon the number of opens and interactions and things like that. And also time. You may say, okay, I'm going to send this email at 5 a.m. and then I'm going to send this other email at 6 p.m. Let's see which one does better. That's what an A and B, that is what an A and B testing campaign does. It basically helps you figure out what works best. But this is really not beneficial if you don't have that many subscribers. At least get about 100. And then some people say at least 1,000. I've heard don't do this until you have 1,000. But I think about 100 to 500 is really good to start to test out to see what people are liking to open. Maybe they like the black and white and cool versus the funky, and or maybe they like the funky versus the you need to test it out and see. The RSS campaign is where you're connecting your blog. But here's the one thing that I'm learning about copywriting, and it's something I've learned since I've taught a previous class that was just like this, is that people are becoming less likely to open up the RSS campaigns, and they're more likely to open up custom copywritten campaigns that connect to a blog post. So instead of it saying, hey, read this latest blog post, on this date, they're actually opening up emails that say, hey, do you feel like giving up sometimes? Are you in a place where, you're struggling from day in and day out and you just don't know what you're going to do? Well, guess what? I've written a blog post just for you on how you can make it and how you won't be able to give up and how your life can be changed just within these few 5 steps, right? And that may be the blog post, and then maybe that's like the copy, and then it'll have a link. Click here to start your best life now, right? Or just click here to read this wonderful blog post, or click here to read this blog post and change your life today. To your blog post. Remember how we just did where you highlight the text and then you select web address, you paste in your blog post. Those kind of blog posts are actually getting higher click rates. I noticed it within my own, with Jesus and People Nation, is that it got higher click rates. So for right now, we don't do RSS and we don't do the plain text. We're going to do the regular, because right now we have no subscribers for A&B. Right now, I don't have any subscribers, so we're going to make a campaign name, and we're going to call this Get a Bite Something Real Good. Maybe this is a recipe or something. Who is this from? This is from Bites. Okay, we have the email. So I'm going to track opens. Yes, you do want to track your clicks as well. This is actually required, but all this other stuff you don't have to worry about. Now, I'm sure some of you have seen this before. Forever 21 did this on a campaign a few months ago, and it really rocked a lot of people's inboxes. You can personalize your two, how do you say it, in your header, right? And so in your email subject. So this is the merge tag. Remember that when you require people to provide you with their first name, this is when it becomes important. I would not suggest using these if you don't require people to use their first name or their last name, especially their first name, because it will just say F name. Only because you may have a few people who gave their first name and then you have a few people who did not give their first name. And so it may say F name on some people's and then their actual first name. So only do this if you actually are requiring their first name, okay? Excuse me. But you actually can use this right in here. So you may say, this may say, Genesis, right? Let's say that was the first name. Genesis, get a bite of something real good, or it may say, how is your day going? F name with a question mark, right? Because basically these are what we call merge tags. This will be replaced with whatever information was inserted in the form. So if it asks for a name, then, and this is the F name, this is the first name. So that means that any first name that was given by your subscriber, when it gets sent out to their inbox, it will automatically replace this with their first name because they signed up, right? So that's it. We're going to hit next. What kind of template? Right now we have no saved templates. Guess what? MailChimp actually gives you templates to use. This is the great thing. So you really don't need to start from scratch. However, some people have asked me, Genesis, your emails are cool. How did you make it? So what I did was I used Basic. And Basic is where it's a blank template, but they give you layouts to use. And so with this, I figured out, okay, what I want. Now, when you look at these boxes, this top bar at the top gray is your header, right? This is where you're going to put your header at. Then these boxes here are boxes. So you have to think about, what am I going to put in these boxes? Here's a great idea that I started doing for churches. And even I'm thinking about doing for my email list. I may not. But when you see these boxes at the bottom, remember, all these things are fillable. But you just got to think about the layout that you want. And which one is also choosing mobile responsiveness. Right here is a good one. This one that has 3, and then it has like the 2 sections here. And when you think about some of these, here's what you think about. Like with this one having 3 columns, you have to think about, are you putting in something there that would have 3 columns where where there would be 3 images? Because whatever you remove, it's just important to know that you just don't want anything to look messy in the inbox. So I'm going to select this 131 Bandit one. And the reason why I say this, and you're going to see why I selected this. Okay. Close. I'm actually going to delete this out. I'm going to show you a second. These are your modules. This is what you can put inside of an email. Okay. Number one, we do want to put something here in the header. I always, in all my emails, make sure that there is a graphic, a custom graphic there. It can be my logo, it can be a header, it can be anything, but I always make sure that there is a header there. So we're going to browse and we're going to select the Bytes header. For here, this information right here is what goes in like with the email. So it may say like, open here or something like that. I actually remove this. I don't actually include that in my email anymore. I also hit column 2 and I take away view email in this browser. And a lot of times I'll just put my logo there. So like I may just put a logo. I just may put, Bytes newsletter or something like that. And then I'm going to put it on the left side. Okay. Right here. So where you would edit your text, you can change, of course, the font. You can change everything in there, colors, bolded. And then here's what I'm starting to do. You can also link your social media. Let's say this wasn't included. You can actually click on social media follower, and you can, I can put it right here in the footer right below that. And then I can add even more. I can add other email clients. I'm sorry, either others, platforms, Instagram, Spotify, Google Plus, Pinterest. There's a lot of ones you can add, right? And then what you'll do is you'll actually link them in here. So you'll actually put your actual links, food or something like that, and I can put all the links. If I want to delete them, I can, hit this or whatever. And then of course you can drag and drop. Now here's the thing about MailChimp, when you select these blank templates, you gotta be really careful because they're very, like the way that they looked when you pick them, having those 3 columns, that's how it's gonna look. And so for me, I don't want the buttons, but here's how you can get really smart with it. Let's say I removed this bottom base and I put my links up in here, and I'm gonna remove this blur. I'm going to remove the product name. I don't want, unless I'm selling an item, but I really don't want product names. Let's say at the bottom of your email, you had buttons to have them explore more. I've done this with the church when we've sent emails where, it'll have, it will have a, like other buttons for them to look at that may say like, okay, visit the store or visit the blog or visit, visit the blog, visit the store, check out our sermons, maybe something like that. And so that's what I've done. The reason why I've liked doing that is because sometimes, when you send emails, depending on what kind of email you're sending, you want to give people some just regular calls of action. And so I think depending on what your brand does or, who they are, you can add these buttons. I don't know, personally, I think it depends, but this is something, just an idea to think about as you're making, these different email layouts. I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to pull this up for you guys to see, so you can see what we're talking about. This is an email that we sent out from the church. And this is the reason why I said that the Facebook ads were really helpful, because when you use Facebook ads for your headers, then it basically helps you get a, again, like I said before, you can use it as like a double whammy. So like, for instance, I'm going to use it to promote here, but then we can also use it actually as the Facebook cover for the layout. Okay. So let me show you what we did. Put one. Okay. So we had a cookout. Hold on, guys. Let me share the screen because I have to share it with you guys so you guys can see. And we're almost done. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're almost done, but let's look at this. This is an email that was sent from the church. And so this is the header that was there that we designed. And of course, there's my parents, and there's the church. Again, we have a very small church. But the one thing I've learned is that all the things I've learned designing for large and mega churches, even a couple thousand, you apply it to the small. You don't wait until something is huge to get it right. You do it now. And so we have our sermon store. But remember I was telling you about those 3 buttons that you can have at the bottom. This is what we did. I went into Canva and I just made 3 buttons and I use the templates. And so, if they want to look at upcoming events, if they want to look at the blog, if they want to look at sermons, and they can click on each one and it will take them, for instance, to the blog, right? So this will take them to the blog. I made the church website on Squarespace, and I'll have an upcoming class for churches on how you can do this. But we had done a Father's Day campaign where we had called our thing MVP Sunday, right? And so, matter of fact, if we look at the MVP Sunday, this is one of the Facebook headers we had done, and so we used it as the header for the emails, and then we even sent out emails that were based on that. So like the Jeremy Lynn, we had highlighted basically our camp. And this is very important to us as well. Branding and just trying different things. What we had done was on MVP Sunday, our our congregation, we promoted the people to wear jerseys, okay, to wear jerseys. So for those of you who are social media managers, or you just do stuff for your church, or you're a pastor, this is a great thing to think about. So you connect that with your email list. So in the email list, we made sure that our website had content on sports. Since we were calling MVP Sunday, we selected MVPs in the sports arena, and we created email campaigns that connected back to the website for blog posts. For instance, like this is a Stephen Curry one. This is like, for instance, where Stephen Curry was talking about his faith. It was a video we got off of YouTube, and we made it as a blog post. For Jeremy Lin and his faith, we did the same thing, and we linked it. It may be taken down. Oh, it was taken down since then. Thanks for me finding out. But with the Steph Curry and this faith though one, like, they can watch it, whatever, but we linked it back to the email list. So then they would click watch video, and it would take them to the blog post. Here's the Steph Curry one right here, and they could click on watch today's video. And this is all leading up to MVP Sunday, right? And so this is, when you think about this, all this stuff is linked up. Another one that we did was, here's one for prayer and Bible study. We want them to get to prayer and Bible study. Then we had all the upcoming events that was upcoming for them. Here's another one on what's happening this week, where we break down what's happening this week between, the young adults. We have the links here. So this is really great. And of course, I'm basically restructuring our content out, and of course I'll be teaching on how to do this, but it's a great thing where you can use your email list, to become a place where you can promote. So when we did the War Room movie night, we did it, and this is all from MailChimp. And again, it's free, unless you have 2,000 subscribers, and you start paying, but this is actually a great service. And look how easy it is. We used graphics that we had from our graphic team and stuff like that to put into these emails. But if you remember those 3 buttons though that I was talking about, and these most recent ones, pull up one right here. These 3 buttons, that's what this is right here. So you can drag in 3 images. You can change your templates. But let's say we made a template. We like how it looks. Save a template. I love templates, because when you make new emails, you don't have to worry about your new design layout. So I can save this one as the Bites, regular email. Now, your email subscribers won't see this, but it is important though that you save your templates, because again, this is how, for me, on my designs, I don't have to keep on laying it out. I can literally use it over and over again. So this is the reason why, but when you design this email, connect all your links that you want, have everything right, and then hit save the templates, Bites template, I can say regular template. And you're going to have different templates. You're going to have tons of different templates. Okay. Let's go into the girls' royalty, because once you get done, matter of fact, once you get done laying all this out, you'll hit next. And you can click on, I don't have any people to send this to. So. But I'm going to add myself. I'm going to add myself. But of course, I didn't actually put in any content. And of course, they can tell that because it says, as basically like their user content. But let's just put in here, right here, blah, blah, blah. And this is blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to hit save and go to list, save and exit. So it's saving for me, because we need to add at least one person to this email list. And so I'm going to add a subscriber. I'm going to add my personal email. It's my personal one. I just, oh, I didn't hit the, yep, I signed up for it. I want the 5-minute recipes, the 5-minute recipes. So we're going to go back to campaigns. And when something is saved, but it hasn't been done yet, you'll see how it has this little edit icon, because you're still, it's not completed. So you're going to go back to it. And we're going to hit next, because let's say we were done designing everything. It's going to go through a checklist. Social cards should only be used when you're looking to promote this to go out to everybody, right? You're going to Facebook and Twitter, but we don't want this to. I want this to be yellow all the time, because I don't want anyone else to see these emails but my email list. I'm going to hit schedule. This is how, again, this is great. I'm going to hit schedule. I want to schedule this for next week. For next Monday, and I can tell what time I want to go out. Bachelor Living, all these other things, these are for your paid accounts, because you remember you're not paying for it. You can upgrade. I think it's worth the price when you start to get a certain number of email subscribers. You can schedule it Eastern time. You can change the time. You can, and your time is according to your account. So like, you know, if you are, you know, from California, you would have it be set to that. I'm gonna hit schedule. If you want to automatically send, hit cancel and then just hit send. Okay, and it will go out. When it goes out, it will, you know, go out there and then it'll begin to gather statistics once you're done on it. So let's say I hit send. Oop, I did not save you guys the right screen. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna show you what I just did. Here you go. So I just hit send, and this email just got sent. Okay, so just kind of show you what it looks like. It just got sent. And when it gets sent, it shows the report. It'll show you when they open it, the open rate, you know, did it bounce? Bounce is when it goes to an email that may not been, maybe it's old, maybe it got deleted, maybe, you know, it wasn't good. You know, some people, they sign up with the wrong emails. So you want to definitely do that. And then of course, when you're done that, let's go into templates. Now remember how I made a template? All your templates will be here. You can even make more templates if you want to. Like I suggest maybe knocking out a day where you're making a whole bunch of templates for your email list so that you don't have to keep on making, you know, new emails each time. Make a batch of templates. So like this is what goes out when I write my blog promotional. So like, you know, like I said before, you know, when let's say you have a new blog post, you know, and you want to write a little bit about your blog, you know, oh, hey guys, check out this new article, da da da. Have that template where people know, oh, this is a new blog. Oh, she wrote a new blog post. Or oh, this is like this is the newsletter. Or oh, this is a new product promotion. So that you don't have to like, you know, keep on, you know, making these custom templates, okay? And then of course you can go to Canva and make headers that match those different templates. This is clearly seen when I send out my Juice and People Nation emails. But let's go to, we're gonna go to Girls of Royalty because I wanna show you guys lastly about automation, okay? This is really important. We're gonna be talking about automation as we end because for those of you who are looking to upgrade your account, these are the things that really open up the world to doing, you know, like devotionals or challenges, or, you know, if you want to do an email class that they can sign up for or even pay for, where they can get it via email, you know, and they can get, you know, worksheets sent via email or videos sent via email. So we're going to go and look at this, okay? I'm also going to quickly show you our templates for Girls Royalty because we've created many, and showing you the different designs and how we've changed them over time, okay? Because in my opinion, it definitely is a benefit. Definitely is a benefit. So let's go to the screen share, and I'm going to show you the automation side. Go to templates. Okay, so this is Girls Royalty, and we do devotionals now. We just started doing devotionals. And we just created a devotional called Single with the Passion. And so with Single with the Passion, I'm going to just show you the preview. This is the template that we did for it. And when we did the templates, everything that we do for Girls Royalty is pretty much custom, as much custom as we can do. And so, because we really want that touch to be there. We want our stuff to look like a professional ministry, top of the line, you know, well done. And imagery plays a big part in that. And so for our devotionals, when people sign up, and see, this is really great. Everything that we do, it even conforms to mobile. It's not all over the place. You don't have to scroll and pinch. So we wanted to be where with the template, this was the same for any day. And so this was the same. And then the text in this box would change. So whenever we're doing a devotional, we don't actually have to create a new template every single email. We create one template, and then we just keep on using that template for the, you know, for each day in the devotional, if that makes sense. The same thing goes for our deep. We had a deep devotional. And so we did the heading for that. Okay, this heading at the top stays the same, but then all this text down below will change, right? And so that really helps us conserve our time, save time, and so that we're not all over the place. You know, we're not having to make all these different templates. Now, let's talk about automation, okay? With automation, just to quickly show you the automation, This is how we create devotionals. This is how you create an email class. This is what you pay for within MailChimp. This is one thing that opens up to you once you once you actually pay for their services and you go past the free account. Component. This is really great. Even birthdays. We actually send a birthday email. It's actually right here. Here we send a birthday email. And it's already checked because we already have an emotion. So that when our subscribers sign up and they put their birthday, they get an automatic email from Girls Royalty wishing them happy birthday. Now, the great thing about this is that as our ministry is growing, we don't have to worry about searching through our emails and saying, okay, whose birthday is it today? Okay, we got no. It automatically is sending them emails on our behalf. We make it extremely personal, and it sounds like it's, it is from the heart, but it's the fact that we can't go through every single person and find out their birthdays, but we do it via automation. The same thing happens for your groupings. This is like the classes. So like, for instance, we do the list activity to where when they sign up for a specific list, it starts to send them emails. The same as like in the education section, which we use the course series, which is pretty much the same. And that's basically where once they sign up for a specific list, which is like, it may be the 30-day challenge or whatever, it will begin to send them a course of emails. I'm going to show you how we do this. We have several lists, but let's say, we have a book club coming up. And of course, we have emails that are going to start being sent out for that. But I'm going to show you something. Let's say I call this the GOR book club. What's we call it? The 30-day book challenge. And let's say, for those who are in the book club, they want to learn how to write their own book. So let's say we invite a guest, a person who knows how to write books, and we invite them to teach a email class via email. It may be some instructional, some printables, where, they're sending out some emails. Now, it's set up right now for 4 lessons. But I'm going to show you how you can change it. So right now, wow, that's a lot of people. We just put this out a couple days ago. So this is great. We have 21 subscribers already. Look at God. So we like just dropped this. But we have 21 women already signed up for the book club that we're starting in September. We just dropped this a couple days ago. And so let's say I want to send out, let's say I want to build a course. And this list is on growing. We haven't even done Facebook ads. So imagine, you're doing Facebook ads for Instagram ads for your list. These lists will begin to grow, of course, and also too based upon your promotion. And so with that being said, as this list is growing, let's say, okay, once they sign up for this list, I want to send them 4 emails to get maybe to welcome them, maybe to just encouragement for the first 4 emails. Now, the way this works is that it's based upon when they sign up. Right? And see, you can change the trigger. So this trigger at the top, there are triggers for each email. And you'll see the way this is set up, it's set up like, it's set up based upon weeks. Okay, this is very important to pay attention to. Y'all, this is the secret sauce. This is how, maybe you sign up for those business gurus and they have like a email class you can sign up for, and every like week or every day you get a tip. This is how you can do it. So the trigger is set to where they get an email immediately after they join. And so this is where I would take off that final email. So when you design your list and there is that final email, you want to, you want to make sure that you turn it off, because with the, if they're getting a final email, you could say something like, okay, we'll check your email again. But I wouldn't do that. Remember that confirmation page that we were talking about? Tell them that in their inbox they're about to get an email, because when you start paying for automation, you don't need the final welcome email. You can automate because that's what you're paying for each month, right? So this trigger is that once they join, they will get this email that you can design this. You can also, like, there's some really cool stuff, but you can design this to be where it sends them something after once they sign up. Matter of fact, let me show you really quickly. Our devotionals have been really, really great. So like, let's see here. Let's pick. Let's do the deep one that we just got. We had it. Okay, so this one we just started maybe like a couple of days ago. We just started promoting it. And so with this, we have 6 subscribers. And so these are the people that just signed up, and it's going to show you how people have made it through. Okay. And so right now it's where once they sign up, they get this email, and they get this email, and they get this or whatever. You know, you have it go for 7 days. No one's got it to the end because we just started promoting this. I really doubt people. We haven't even promoted it to our email list that this is available. So it shows you when you have stuff set up on your website, people who are just browsing, they're going to sign up. Like, we haven't even said that. We did it to our Instagram, but we haven't even said to our members, our member base, that this is available. So, you know, it just shows you when you put up free content, it is great because it gives people who are browsing your site, browsing your stuff, to find it and to just, you know, start what you have, right? So this is what they get sent first. They get a day 1 sent immediately. Once this is done, they get the day 2 sent 1 day after. Okay, so these triggers are for 1 day. Let's look at, here's one more that I really wanted to, where's the pause? Here it is. Oh, I love the pause. I'm so in love with the pause. So let's go to the pause. We're gonna hit it. Now, your open rate, or how many people opened, your clicks are like links. We don't have any links in our devotional, so I'm assuming they're clicking on like social media. And then your sends are how many things have been sent out. So we're gonna hit edit, and we're gonna go down to, where is it at? I cleared out the people, but this is what it gets sent a welcome email, and it looks like this because I wrote this one. So it looks like this. I think it's in my face. There am I. And we had created custom headers for these different emails. And so they get sent, we let them know some things like, you know, this is very important, you know, when they start in this class, make sure you add the email to their contact list so that it won't go to spam or anything like that. Then we tell them to get ready because you're about to start, you know, the workshop or the you know, the class or whatever. We also make sure that everything was conducive for the phone, things like that. Then you'll see here is that we rotated our design to go between the actual logo of the pause to then other headers of pause. So we had, of course, you'll see different image work. Some people say, why would you go through all that trouble? But here's what you have to remember is that it's an experience. So, you know, you can use the same graphic like for Single with the Passion, we have the same design. For Deep, we have the same design. 5 Minutes with God, we have the same design. So, you know, it just depends on how you want it to be done. But I do believe going to Canva, making a header really does work. So let's go back to the automation, like I was saying, for the class. So we're gonna go back to education, and I'm gonna click on the course series. And again, we're making a new one for the book club. Oh, you know what, guys? We already have one for the book club, right? There it is right here, book a challenge. Here, hit at it. The trigger, edit trigger. You can change what they get. So I can change the trigger. The trigger can be based upon all sorts of things. It can be based upon if they didn't click the email. It can be based upon if they did click the email. It'll be based upon not open campaigns. You can click on if it was a manual ad, if they change, if they change the list of their value. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. If you have a WooCommerce, a WordPress, or a Shopify, you can even connect your store and have emails sent from MailChimp to them. Like if they purchase a product, if there was an abandoned cart, there are all sorts of things you can connect. It's crazy. So with this, I'm going to hit cancel new trigger. But I want this to be when they joined up, but I can click hours, days, or weeks. Do I want it to be immediately? Or do I want it to be hours? Do I want it to be days? Do I want it to be weeks? When you click on trigger when subscribers are imported, let's say you went to an event and you were promoting a class and people signed up on the spot on their phone, but let's say some people signed up, you know, via a form that was not connected to your website. So you could say, okay, I have about 30 emails from friends who want to join the challenge, but they didn't sign up, you know, on the site. I have manual add-ins. When you click this, the moment that you import them into that list, they will get sent this class, right? So you can do that because again, we already chose which list this was getting sent to, right? So this challenge is for a list. So every single time we start a new devotional or a challenge, we have that in its own email list, right? So like that's its own email list. You don't have that for your general list. You have this for your your specific list. Now, if you want to be someone who offers a class as a freebie, like for instance, one thing that I'm going to begin doing is that when they sign up for Jesus and People Nation, they're going to get a 5-day branding class in their inbox. So for 5 days, they're going to get 5 emails in their inbox to help them with establishing branding, like branding rules, all that kind of stuff, right? So with that being said, I would attach that course to my main email list. But if I was doing a special challenge, I would not attach it to that one because I want special subscribers for that one, right? So, you may do a 30-day challenge and promote that as something of your brand, separate entity or whatever, and you have people do it all the time, like, for the new year, new you 30-day challenge, new you 7-day challenge or whatever. And there's a special page for them to go sign up. So like I said before, I can have it be sent every 2 weeks, every 1 week. Like for instance, this may be something where I send once a week. So once they sign up, well, actually this one, I want it to be immediately, right? Update the trigger. Then the next one, I want it to be sent the next day, or maybe I want it to be sent next week, or maybe I want it to be sent the next hour. It's up to you. Then you can change the schedule. What time do you want it to be sent? Should it be sent every day? Should it be sent, this is where it gets really defined. But for instance, okay, what time should it be sent? Okay, well, I want it to send at 8 a.m. every day. Okay. And it doesn't matter when they sign up. It can be any day. Because here's the thing. If I sign up last night for a challenge at 11:59, okay, what time do I get the next day? Do I get it at 11:59? No. I will want to send it to you every morning at 8 a.m. So even if you sign up at 11:59 last night, you will get this email at 8 a.m., especially the next one, because remember, here's the thing. They sign up, they get this email immediately. Like if I sign up at 11:59, I'm going to get an email maybe at 12 midnight with the welcome. Then in the morning, the next week or the next day at 8 a.m., I'm going to get this email, okay? You can also select actions. You can select after they open this email, you can unsubscribe from a list. This is actually what I've done for cleaning out subscribers. When you have people who are just sitting in your email box and like they're not checking your emails, they're not opening up your stuff, they're just taking up space, you delete them. The way I do it is I set up a trigger. So let's say this was actually an unsubscribe automation, right? So not just a book challenge. Let's say this was an unsubscribe. If I go back to, we can just use this. Let's say I send them an email immediately that says, hey, we haven't heard from you. We actually sent this one to Girls Royalty members, I think like 2 days ago. And it said, we're sorry to let you go. It said something like, I forgot what it said. It said something like, we're going to have to let you go or something, right? And then, people actually opened up that email because they thought something was happening to Girls Royalty, but actually something was happening to our email relationship. We told them, hey, well, we've noticed you haven't opened up the last 50 campaigns, which is a lot. Last 20 campaigns, that's a lot. Last 10 campaigns, to us, that is a lot. You haven't opened the past 10 emails. So, we're praying for you. We love you. But, we know that, some things do have to come to an end. And we just put like a sad face. And then we say, if you want to be added, don't worry, you can re-sign up by clicking this link, right? So after that, just like this, you could do a trigger. After they open up this email list, you can delete them from the list or unsubscribe them from the list, okay? I can unsubscribe. I can delete. Do it. I think, in my opinion, it's the same thing. But you can unsubscribe and hit update. You can choose a segment. We don't really have any segments right now in our group. Like, remember, a segment would be like, those specific areas or groups, right? Okay. You can also drag content. It doesn't show you this, but let me go to another one to show you how we did it for single with a passion. Some people just signed up for this one. Okay, so I'm going to hit Right now I can't even edit it because it's like it's already in operation. But let's say this wasn't. You actually have the ability to click and drag content from one to the other. I can't do it right now because it's in automation. I really don't want to stop it. But you can actually, if you clicked this area and dragged it down to this box, you can switch the content. So like, let's say I made a 5-day challenge, but then I want the 4-day challenge. I want day 4 to actually be day 5. I could just go down to day 4 and you drag this to day 5 and it will switch with one another. It would actually switch places. So I feel like that is really, really cool. Another thing that you can do too is that if we go back to the automation, you can, let's see, go back to this one. It's like we're adding in it. You can add as many emails as you want to. You can also do things, like I said before, like you notice here. See how there it goes. See how I did it? Drag content and then switch. It will switch. So that becomes this, okay? And it will switch. You'll see how it says content updated, and you'll see how the title that says welcome to my class is now here, and lesson 1 is up there. Now if I switch them back, click on there, these three dots, then it switches back. Okay, so this is how you can use automation to help your brand. This is, I cannot stress what automation has done for not just, and again, Girls Royalty is a small brand growing, but you have to think about growth. You have to think about like what your goal is to do. And automation helps do that, especially because even if you're a church, think about if you did like some kind of like, online thing for your members to take. It could be an online, course or resource, or it could be something where, you're sending out recurring birthday emails to your members, or, maybe you're sending out, maybe if it's like upcoming sermons or whatever. Again, there is an e-commerce section for you to do that. There are integrations that you can do down here. You can do custom, where you just create whatever you want to create. There's date-based. They have birthdays, recurring dates, specific dates, list added dates. You have list activity. So let's say someone is leaving the group. Okay, you can set that up. You have software. This is really great. So, if you're preparing someone, for what you're doing or whatever, you can send them tips, or, like if it's, so like let's say, you launch a membership website or whatever. You want to kind of give them more information about what they should expect and things like that. You can do it like that. There's music they have here. If you're a band, if you're in music, you can send all sorts of things after they purchase something. This is the course I talk about. Then there's even nonprofit. Look at this. Those who give the most. You have events, membership renewal, supporter onboarding. In my opinion, this is just awesome because it really helps you figure out, what and how you want to further your brand. Okay, so the last thing I want to touch on, and we're going to go back to, we're pretty much done. It's 9 o'clock. You guys, I think I've learned so much in this class already. But the one thing you're going to receive, I'm going to be sending you some homework. And what you're going to get in that homework is that you're going to first, of course, create your list. You're going to create your first campaign. But the goal as well is to create your email strategy. What are you using all this for? Okay, what's the purpose of all of this? I talked on it before. But, again, you have to think back to it. What is your purpose of the email marketing? What are they getting? What makes it a benefit? What can you do to maximize sales? What can you do to get people actually physically to your church? Because, a lot of people and pastors say, okay, great, I'm doing all this, but how many people actually show up? That is core. It's a correlation upon whatever your goal is. Because if your goal is just to encourage, they're going to get encouraged. If your goal is to get them into the door, then okay, how do we use these emails to get them into the door? It may be where, you may have a list that is specifically just for new members. Okay, so when new members join, their emails get in your MailChimp and they get an automatic email sent to them, welcoming them in. Maybe, 2 days later or 3 days later, you invite them, you tell them about Bible study, or maybe you tell them about upcoming classes, and, you can make them into like its own course. So you have to really think about what is our goal. You actually have to strategize what that is, because then that will help you conserve and save time. Okay, so that's really what I want you guys to think about. What is your goal with all this? Why would you even, do this work? And then, of course, how do you not go crazy? That's the biggest one. How do you not go crazy? Well, you don't go crazy by scheduling. You schedule out your emails. You need to have a document somewhere, Or for some of us who are more visual, I have a wall that's like a sticky wall, and maybe you use Post-it notes, and you put on your wall, what's coming up on these dates. So like this email will be about this, that's like a content calendar basically. And your content calendar will help you figure out, what will be coming up next. So like, for instance, well, on Mondays, we're going to send a recap of the sermon, or on Mondays, I'm going to send an inspirational email. On the middle of the week, Wednesday, if we have Bible study, an alert on Bible study, what that topic is. If I'm a small business, maybe it'll be a product highlight, or maybe I'm just going to highlight something that I really like that's happening in my industry, or a tip of the day or something. On Friday or the weekends, because that's when people get their coins and money to spend, maybe I'm promoting another product or a service, or maybe I'm just sending out something encouraging. If I'm a church, well, you should already know weekends are events. So I'm going to be promoting what's happening this weekend, how they can be a part, the address, the contact information, if they need a ride or whatever it may be, right? So you definitely need to develop a schedule to figure out, okay, what happens during the week? What is our content schedule, so that you're not just sending emails when you feel like it, but you're sending out emails according to a schedule. And it's helping you save time, because again, I can just go in, grab the template that fits me, get that template, type in the email, and schedule it, okay? And you just begin to schedule. Now in MailChimp, you can schedule out these emails like we talked about before, and they're gonna automatically be sent. So you don't actually have to be at your computer, at 7 o'clock in the morning to send the email. MailChimp is going to automatically send it for you, okay? And so that's really, really important. So again, I do hope you were able to gain something from this class. We touched on a lot. I know we definitely touched on a lot. And so if you have any questions, you definitely can feel free to go to my website, which is genesisdorsey.com, and click on say hello, and you can send me an email. The other thing though that I want to touch on is, like I said before, last minute, is your signups. So if you have a website, you need to figure out how you're gathering up your signups. If you have WordPress, you can use plugins, but MailChimp also allows you to do this. And this is the last thing we're going to touch on, is gathering those emails. And we're going to end there. So let me give you my screen one last time. This is the template screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to list. And we're going to go to sign up forms right here. And then I'm going to go down to either embed or a subscriber pop-up. For the subscriber pop-up, remember, it's a pop-up that pops up on your screen, right? It's going to look like this. It even shows you how it looks on mobile. You can have photos, a skinny bar that goes across, photos on the side. You can change the text that goes here. I can, browse and add a photo. Right, and give them reasons on why they should sign up. It has the email address here. You can even put the fields where I want to also collect this, all this kind of stuff too, right? You can take off what you don't want them to provide, all sorts of stuff. You can even have the settings when you want it to pop up, design-wise, like I said before, text, all that. When you get done, you would hit generate code. This code you would put at this is after you embed the code. After you embed the code to your site, any changes you make to the form can be published directly from the editor. So in other words, once you put this code in, you don't need to actually re-put the code in if you want to make changes. You would just go into MailChimp and make the changes. Now you may say, okay, Genesis, where do I put this at? I don't even know where to put this at. It depends. And MailChimp actually offers you a help if you are confused, you don't know where to put it. It will actually teach you how to put it there. And when you hit publish, it will be ready to go live, and you'll be able to go from there. And so I'll be able to hit, and of course you want to see a pop-up preview. That's how it will look. And I will hit save. Hold on. And my subscriber form will be in there actually. You would hit select to change it. The embedded forms are like this. It's like what was on the Girls Royalty site. is the embedded forms on your site. You can put this on a page. Like if you have this, you can, if you have either modules or just HTML or whatever, there should be blocks on your site that are maybe called code or HTML. You can just copy and paste it into those types of blocks, depending on, if you use like Wix, you can do it, Squarespace, you can do it, WordPress, you can do it, Weebly, you can do it. I'm like, like on those builder sites. And you can do it like that. And you can, show if you want to show the star asterisk, you can do that. They also offer super slim, which is very slim, horizontal, which goes across, naked, which you really want to do this for like, if you're doing like coding or anything like that. And then of course you have custom coding where you can actually custom code it out. If you have a coder, or someone who has a web developer experience, you can have them actually design like a custom format. The other place where you can do it as well is if you go to places like, Code Cannon. These are plugins, like if you have WordPress and you can buy them, all you have to do is like, let's say I hit search and I was looking for, oops, I clicked that wrong. Let's say I was looking for newsletters. This is WordPress. This is if you have WordPress and newsletters. They have plugins that you can do that will collect them. However, here's the thing. There are some free ones. Also, too, if you're looking for a connection, you can go to mailmunch.com. Mailmunch is something you can put on any site. And with MailMunch, it actually integrates into MailChimp for free. They have a free price. If you go down here, you look at their pricing, and you'll see that they have a free where you can use it only on one site, but you can do unlimited forms, and it integrates. And it will integrate right into it. So if I hit monthly, it's still free. But if I want to hit monthly, it's no cost. And you can see here what the features are. You can create pop-up boxes for any site. See, like that, that's really cool too. See, stuff like that. You can create all those kind of forms. It actually will give you results and stats for that as well. I love the top bars. For me, I love the floating bars at the top. We have put this in for a client. I have Dr. Kita Joy on her, not her, in her page, but bar come up very shortly right here by MailMunch that we did. And it says just get your ways, and this is MailMunch as well. So we put in a pop-up here, which is done really well, plus a top bar if they want to get it as well, because sometimes people will click out of your bar and then they will want to sign up, and they're like, oh my gosh, like I clicked out of that by accident. Where is it at? So you'll see, this is like when we had designed her site, it stays up right here at the top. Okay, and so that's a great thing too, is that it stays up at the top. We don't have to worry about it going anywhere. Another plugin that you can use as well is called the Hello Bar. This is a top bar as well. And with the Hello Bar, it looks like, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Let's say I did, I already have subscriber boxes, but let's say I did do it. It will actually preview what it looks like. So let's see, I did it. So I just created this site or whatever. You can choose, this is the Hello Bar. You can choose what you want to do. Do you want to get Facebook likes, emails? So let's say I want to do email list. You can have it say whatever you wanted to say, hit continue. Then, so this is how it will look. It previews how you want it to look. So you can do this as well. It just previews on my site, how it would look. You can then go to, they have different sections. You can do the style. Because it's free, it's kind of like, selective. Here is the pop-up. If I want to do the pop-up, you can do a slider to where it comes in the corner. You can also do a page takeover to where it takes over the whole page. This has actually been pretty popular for some people, and it actually has worked. If you want to take the hello branding off, you actually have to pay for that, and that is $12 a month. So there's that. There's a hello bar. And then, of course, you have Sumo. And with Sumo, this is another one that it doesn't matter what you have because it all works for free. And so this is another one where they do the sidebars. You can do the email list. They have all sorts of stuff. And if you can do it, I'll show you real quick what the pricing is so you can see it. They have the Sumo Me. This is the free one. So you can do up to 1 million website hits, which is good. And then, of course, it doesn't offer the all of the integration like you'll see here, but they do have, they do give you the apps and things like that. They also offer the Sumo Pro. But the one thing that's really good is that if you have WordPress, if you go into the mail, into the plugin area, there are also free ones that are great, that are absolutely great, that I absolutely love, that you can get for free as well. Okay, so these are just a few sites that you can look at to get, to get the bars. Of course, you also have, if you use Squarespace, you definitely want to take full advantage. Let's go to the church website. We have it at the bottom. You can take full advantage of the newsletter bar. Oh, this is the old one. I'm so sorry. rfchurchlive.com. Sorry, guys. We put ours at the bottom for Squarespace. We also create a landing page for it as well. So we have at the bottom, then we also have a landing page that we use for promotion every now and then. That is a landing page for them to join the email list. And it looks like this. And we created this using a cover page in Squarespace for them to sign up. So there's this as well, okay? Another one, though, that is popular is, what is another one that's really, really popular? Let me do it for one of my clients. I believe we had used hers. I think she still uses hers. This is from Mogul Tax, and we had done a pop-up. This is a MailChimp plugin. And if you look down here, we had done, there it is right there. We had done this. So if they want to get the Tribe VIP list and get the free tax time checklist, they can put theirs in here, first name, last name, email address, subscribe. But then it's also here too, when we had designed this and laid this out, for them to sign up and get that as well. So it's just very important that you think about, this is actually one of my very favorite sites to design, but the email collection, right? Like we had done a actual graphic here that says VIP list, right? And then it says get your free small business tax time checklist and organizer, and they would sign up to get this. And it's a benefit. You know why? Because many of you people who may sign up for your email list, they may not be able to buy a huge service right now, but they'll get that free checklist and they're on your email list. And so even though they didn't buy immediately, they may buy later. Okay. And that's really what you want. And then again, think about people who visit your church. They may not come just now, but they sign up for your email list, get their 15 scriptures of hope, or maybe it's an ebook or whatever it may be. And it's a great way for them to get to know your church and get to know who you are. So again, I really pray that this has helped you with your email list and just figuring out ways to have fun. But you will get your homework shortly in your inbox via MailChimp. And hopefully, you're going to attack it. Hopefully, you're going to be able to answer the questions and go from there, guys. So have a blessed rest of your day, whatever or whenever you're watching this. And be sure to, again, use your MailChimp, use Canva for your designs, and go from there. Now, we will be having more in-depth free classes where I'm going to break apart each section. So like we're going to do one on how to actually design a template full depth, because we touched on it. We did do some quick things, but some of you are saying, hey, I really want mine to be full blown. Well, we'll be having some classes on that as well. We'll also be having some classes on how to create an ebook. I actually have training for specific users, but we will be doing a free class just kind of as a general, overhaul and oversight, because a lot of you need to overhaul your content. You've had the same freebie for the past 3 years, and that it gets dry. So you need to update, you need to refresh, you need to look at what's happening within your niche audience and how you can give them something that they would want right now. Okay, something that they would say, oh, I need this right now. Oh, this is something that I could do right now. Okay, guys. So again, let's knock it out. Just go, even if, for those of you who already have a MailChimp account, let's take it up to the next notch though. So you may have been doing great. You may have several thousands of subscribers, but it's time to take it up a notch. So, get serious about your templates, get serious about your branding, look at your fonts, look at your colors, get serious about your landing pages, so if you're using lead pages, if you're using ConvertKit, if you're using MailChimp, if you're using your website to, to collect these email lists, take it up a notch. Look at what you're doing and say, how can I make this even better? Can I create consistent content that they can get that will make my email list become the, like, oh, I have to get on this list. Oh my goodness. If people are not rushing to get on your list, if they don't feel like they're left out, then you will sense that your email list, it may have some people, but it won't be active. So let's focus on making our email list special, something that really no one else can get. Even, if you have congregants, church congregants, tell them, hey, if you want to get, reminders for upcoming events, of course, you can do the text message. They do have, text message software, but if you don't have an email list, that's not a good thing, because you have upcoming events at your church. You really should want to build up that email list. Okay, so guys, again, let's focus and let's build, and I'll see you later for next class. See you guys. Bye.